Namaskar. Welcome to a very special dialogue. Today is 26/11. 26/11/2008. Mumbai saw terror attacks. Terror attacks which was sent to our city from across the border. 15 years today. I have with me Mr. D. Sivanandhan. Mr. Sivanandhan doesn't need an introduction, but all the same, Mr. Sivanandhan was the Director General of Police, Maharashtra. Mr. Sivanandhan was the Commissioner of Police, Mumbai. And during 26/11/2008, he was Commissioner Intelligence of Maharashtra. Now, I want to know a few things. The first thing I want to know is, can 26/11 repeat? Are we prepared now? Are we prepared this time? Because last time we weren't. Are we prepared this time? I want to know the role of administration. I want to know the role of our political leadership in case of an attack like this. These are the questions I want to ask Mr. Sivanandhan. Let's get right into the show and talk to him. Let me come directly to my question. Sir, has things changed? Are we more prepared today?
Sujit, we have to analyze the general situation as to how scientifically, technologically, and various other ways in this 15 years the world has gone ahead. So we cannot afford to look at the terrorist attacks or the neighborly countries attacking us with the same old modus operandi of Kasab and 10 others coming, attacking us in Taj, Oberoi and all that. Those things have gone way ahead. So let us look at the Russian-Ukraine war, or let us look at the Israel-Hamas war. So how much the technology has improved in attacking each other, and how even Ukraine president, who is supposed to be a stage comedian, could face a superpower called Russia and Vladimir Putin. It is because of the technological development. It is the cheap drones purchased from Turkey and given by NATO and various other things which are happening. The Hamas attack on October 7th, if we can take it, that is a recent attack. I hope let us talk to that as a reference point. The 26/11/2008 looks totally outmoded and old. So I don't think anybody will do now, send people to the other country and get caught and get paraded like we did to Kasab. So those modus operandi has changed. Now anybody, any terrorist group would look at this cyber way, cyber espionage, cyber spying, cyber war, techno war and darko war. These are the kind of things they would be doing it. So coming back to your question, if we are only taking a reference of 26/11/2008, we are prepared. We got NSG, which is fully prepared and armed and trained in Marol. And we also have a carbon copy called Force One, which is available at Goregaon. And Mumbai police, the QRT, the Israeli trained people and all that, I really don't know what happened in 13 years. Even that equipment I bought, the boats, the guns, the bulletproof cars and various other things, I'm sure in 13 years they've all become outmoded and they have passed their stage of life. And so unless we have purchased a lot of new equipment which is matching with the enemy's collection of arms, ammunition, vehicles, technology and things like that, we can't say we are ready for the modern day warfare. But if you ask me whether we are ready for a 26/11/2008 type of attack where people come, stay put and challenge your army or the police or the commandos, for that my answer is yes, we are ready. Maybe the vehicles and others we purchase are a little old, but then we have armed ourselves better. For example, the Navy and the Coast Guard have spent thousands of crores in building up the commandos. They are strewn all over the Konkan belt and other places. And the Coast Guard has built themselves with a lot of latest technical equipment, boats and other things, Navy has also spent so much. So compared to 26/11/2008, if you ask me, we are better off. We are very well. We can face that very easily, no doubt about that. But I would like to draw your attention that do you think the enemy is stuck up with the 15-year-old modus operandi? No. He has gone way ahead with the science and technology usage. I gave you the example of Hamas. I gave you the example of the Ukraine-Russian war.
You see, a country like Israel, which is supposed to be one of the best as far as security forces, equipments, Mossad, etc., are concerned, they were attacked by a terror group called Hamas. If that is so, wouldn't it be prudent to kind of assume that anybody can attack anybody, no matter how powerful your security force is?
Yes, Sujit, answer is yes. But the only point is the retaliation or the alertness or the intelligence gathering and the immediate response. These are the things you have to look at it as to what is the country's might is like that. For example, Israel has an invincible army. They have got a fantastic determination to go to the root of the problem and root out any agency or any force which is harming their interests. And all army, intelligence, Mossad, and various other things, stories are all made of that. But on that day, for whatever celebration, 50th year of celebration they did, for whatever reason, their fence, the ring fencing, the very powerful fence was broken open with the bulldozers. And the people skyrocketed and came inside and landed with that balloon kind of equipment where they parachuting, they came inside. And they took away 250 or around that figure, the number of hostages they have taken away. They killed people in the villages, and about 1,200 Israelis were killed on that day, which is allegedly the second highest after the German extermination of the Jewish community. So that is the kind of hurt they have left a mighty country, Israel, with. I have visited Israel 3 times to study their systems, their software, their military operations, intelligence, and various things like that. I have dealt with the commander-in-chief of the police there. He was kind enough to give me trainers to come here and train our Force 1 and Mumbai police. All that, we have a fantastic relationship. We have admiration for them. Mossad is something which we have been fed with. We have been reading about Mossad. In wonderment, we have read about all of them. But what happened on that day was a little bit of a taking for granted, assuming that we are powerful, and so many things went wrong on that day. So something historically a serious mistake has happened on that day, and that is why the other party is paying now. Israel has launched a war, and whatever is happening, you know, you and your viewers are very fully conversant as to what is happening in Gaza and in West Bank. So that is the angle we should remember. So, as they say, vigilance, eternal vigilance is the price we pay for security. So, they failed in eternal vigilance, Sujit. They had let their guards down. Their intelligence did not work as much as we give it credit to. So, that is where the mistake happened. And that turned out to be a very fatal mistake. 1,200 Israelis lost their life.
Sir, going back to 26/11, if 10 people decide to die, I mean, they decide that they will commit whatever harakiri, and they come into a place, will any technology, any kind of intelligence, security forces, will they be able to stop them, or can they stop them? Of course, yes, eventually yes, but will they be able to reduce the damage these 10 madmen can stop?
Sujit, if you leave Pakistan and India aside, imagine 10 people going into any developed country with the most modern science and technology and the Army, Navy, Air Force and all that. Still, the initial damage can happen. The recent incident where one person went around berserk in USA, and he took time for them to find out and locate him. In the meanwhile, he had killed about 22 people. So that way, in USA also, imagining one person going berserk, which happens often there, or 10 people, as you asked, going berserk with weapons, automatic weapons, the initial damage is done. Later, how do you go and track them? You said, how do we handle them? Yes, America or India or Britain or anybody can immediately respond with the forces which they have. Science and technology is there to find out what's happening beyond the wall and find out how many people are there, how they are moving, where they are moving, the body heat, and various other science and technology which has developed in the last 15 years would help any country or organization to to neutralize these forces. But if you ask me, can 10 people get into any country and go berserk? Answer is yes. Who can
So,
stop? Very little can be done about stopping such kind of a people penetrating into any country and going berserk and killing people for a short time.
does that not make intelligence more important than the actual security force? Because it is the intelligence that can possibly stop those 10 people from coming in, or at least warn the people. Isn't it that way, sir?
Sujit, as a layman, I could also say the same thing, saying that there was always intelligence for everything. For the famous or infamous 9/11 attack, which happened in the New York, the World Towers, that there was intelligence. If you have read that Commission of Inquiry report, they say it is only because of lack of imagination the agencies allowed it to happen. That is the last concluding paragraph, if you can read that. So American intelligence had, they knew that guys are there and they're training and things like that. But on that fateful day, when they took all the aircraft and came and crash landed, that intelligence failure was proven beyond a doubt. Same way, on 26/11 also, if you read Mr. V. Balachandran and Mr. R.V. Pradhan's report, 6 pieces of intelligence had come and the Mumbai police had acted. The then ATF chief had invited all the hotel general managers whose hotels were located on the seafront. For example, Taj, Oberoi, Intercontinental, JW Marriott, all those people were called. They were alerted. They were given things in writing, saying that what all things you have to secure. So it is not that this happened without any intelligence. Of course, famously or infamously, the Navy chief, Mr. Suresh Mehta, had said, we did not know, we did not have a workable kind of a actionable intelligence was not available. This is what he has said at the time. But the point is, intelligence was there. And only point is, no intelligence can ever be given that this kind of an attack would happen on 26/11/2008 at 21:10 hours. That kind of intelligence nobody can give. But today, all over the world, Sujit, this human intelligence is less relied upon because it is delayed. And only the other intelligence, electronic intelligence, is being relied upon. So with that, all countries do come to know a certain amount of activity by the enemy camp or in the enemy camp, and they do come to know and they do alert. But the point is, how well are you prepared for an eternal period? For example, this intelligence would have come 6 months before 26/11/2008. Okay, the police was put on people there, guard, we have got all the Coast Guard people and alert all of them, and all that happens. But when a month or two, when nothing happens in this industry, hospitality industry, where the guest is considered to be more important, whenever they made a fuss about it, certain kind of a protection or guard or certain initiatives they taken was put down. It was removed. So ultimately, when 26/11/2008 happened, all those instructions which were given by the then ATS chief were not in place in Taj or Oberoi and other places. So intelligence is there, Sujit. RD Pradhan Committee and Mr. V. Balachandran, they did mention as to how coordination has to be done and how state police, state intelligence, IB, RNAW, all of them have to do coordination. That has been happening. But now it is 13 years. For example, Sujit, this Pathankot and Uri, other things did happen after 26/11/2008. I hope you remember those dates. Those happened after that. So it is not that we learned all lessons immediately, we tightened all corners all over the country and nowhere nothing would happen. That kind of a thing, it may not happen because our country is a very, very huge country. For your information, Sujit, which you know very well, we got 7,600 kilometers of sea coast to protect. Now, every inch of land or every inch of sea coast cannot be protected, even though the division between Navy, Coast Guard, and the police is very, very well defined. Imagine the Marine Police. Nothing much has happened about Marine Police, even though attempts have been made. Police stations have not come up. The Marine Police people cannot swim in the sea. They cannot go on the boat. The sea sickness overtakes them. All that kind of infirmities are there. We have to work at it. The price you
Sir,
pay for a 360-degree, 1 minute, Sujit, I'll just complete
sorry,
it.
sorry.
The price you have to pay for a 360-degree protection, that an attack can come from the air or from the land or from the sea, for a country like India would be humongous.
See, even then, I want to draw our attention back to 2611. Even then, we were talking about intelligence versus security forces. Intelligence kept on saying that we have given intelligence, there was intelligence, we had given information. But then leadership, the police leadership especially, they said, listen, this was generalized intelligence. This intelligence was not actionable, like you rightly said. So then what happens? Sir, intelligence, if it is not actionable, then how does one call it intelligence?
It is intelligence, Sujit. Nobody can be part of a conspiring group, particularly when the conspiracy is taking place in a foreign country. So Osama bin Laden or your various terrorist organizations working abroad and targeting another foreign country, how do we penetrate into those terrorism groups and get intelligence on a day-to-day basis? In this case, coming back to 2611, I told you that yes, someday, sometime, seabound people will come and attack hotels which are located on the seaside. That intelligence was there. This is intelligence. Do you mean to say this is not intelligence? It is. But what is lacking is that on this day, this time, this many people will come armed with so many weapons, would come and attack. That kind of intelligence, I don't think anybody can give. If that is possible, I'm sure Mossad would have got it on 7th October 2023. They didn't get it. We also can't get. You know very well that these conspiracies are hatched abroad. And our penetration in foreign countries, and particularly into terrorist organizations like Al Qaeda or ISIS or ISI and various others, is quite limited. You must know that. But still, our agencies do get general information as much as they can gather.
Whenever there is a terror attack, we talk about the security forces, we talk about intelligence. Chalo, we have to talk about them, there is no doubt about it. But for a time being, let's keep that aside. Let's talk about administration and political will. Sir, administration and political will also plays a very vital role for protection of a particular country, particular state, particular city. Now, you saw that. We saw that the way Netanyahu is reacting after the Hamas attack, or possibly, like you rightly said, Zelensky reacted after the Russian attack. Now, political will seems to becomes a very important role. Sir, as far as politics is concerned, as far as administration is concerned, what role did administration actually do after 2611 in India? What role did politics actually do after 2611 in India, which has made a difference to what it is things are today, sir?
The geopolitical situation at that time would be the guiding factor for the administrators at that time for taking decisions. With hindsight knowledge, we cannot say that they should have attacked Pakistan or terrorism training centers and things like that. For your kind information, Sujit, when Taj and Oberoi was attacked, almost all the countries, their intelligence people and others had come. As you mentioned in your last editorial, under the Patriot Act, the Americans were involved in this attack here. So they had come with all their equipment. They did monitoring. They did participate in all the intelligence gathering activities. They did. Their presence was here. So was various other countries' intelligence agencies. So the point is very simple, that at that time, how superior are you with firepower and how the world is supporting? For example, now, just because you are powerful, you can wage a war against your neighboring small country and continuously do a war for 2 years, and the entire United Nations, not the organization, I'm talking about the world, 195 countries were not able to stop Russia from squeezing Ukraine for 2 years. We have almost forgotten that Ukraine is under attack. Now the next one, might is right. That is the kind of a thing. So if Israel says, okay, you killed me, I was unaware, I was intelligence failure was there. Now I will go and annihilate the entire civil population and the entire Hamas supported civil population supported Hamas. We'll root it out. Imagine the human problems they are all facing. 2.2 billion people in Gaza are facing untold misery. But the world is coming up with small kind of platitudes saying that, this and that and all that. But as you mentioned, the Israeli Prime Minister is saying that I will not stop until I finish my goal. That means what? You are powerful, you are supported by USA, so you can go and do whatever you like and nobody can do anything about it. That is it, Sujit. That for that, it is not administration or political party or anything. At that time, how powerful is your economy? How powerful is your country? How ready your army, navy, air force is to launch an attack? That kind of a thing. If you remember, it is Ferdinand Sergio was killed in the, I think, Bosnia-Herzegovina or some place. That is what the World War II had begun. That was a third country people attacking some prince, Ferdinand Sergio or some such name. So that triggered the Second World War. So that kind of a thing can happen. This Armenia, Azerbaijan, and your attack of Russia and on Ukraine, all these things are example that whoever is mighty can go and attack and nobody can do. In case India had attacked at that time, what all the world would have reacted, who would have supported whom, is not my guess. It is for the political pundits, the IFS officers and the political people. They have to say that what was the prevalent situation that time. 15 years now, maybe our country is much more powerful to go and retaliate in Pakistan or in any other country. But 15 years before, the strategic restraint they maintained was supposed to be supported by all other countries at that time. I'm sure they would have consulted the various other countries who were supporting us. That call was taken with a very, very conscious kind of a decision making was done. And they said, this is the best way we can take action at that given point of time. That's it.
Is our administration and our political will, are they ready for another attack in India if God forbid it happens? That's the question I want to ask you, sir, today.
Yeah, we are ready, Sujit. But my answer was that the Air Force, Navy and all are continuously upgrading, as you know. We have bought aircraft, tanks and sophisticated cyber security systems. All that we are upgrading continuously. And our police forces are also having QRT and various other things they have.
No. Sir, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. My question is, yes, I'm sure our security forces are ready. But sir, I want to know the role of our administration. What is the Home Ministry, for instance? Is the Home Minister's office? Is the Home Minister, the Secretary, Additional Secretary, Home? Are all of them now ready? Is there a system? Is there a process? Is there an administrative system that is put into place? I understand there is a security system put into place. I am asking you whether there's an administration put into place, administrative system put into place. Because, sir, we saw a lot of chaos in 26/11. I remember, sir, you were Commissioner Intelligence at that point in time. I remember it very clearly. There was a huge amount of chaos, huge amount of confusion in the Home Ministry's office. I'm not saying Home Minister's office. I'm saying the Home Ministry. There was a huge amount of confusion. Will that repeat again if God forbid an incident like that happens?
As per the systems developed after that, as per the report and recommendations of R.D. Pradhan committee, all those chaos and confusion is supposed to have been taken care of by bringing in new systems of exchange of intelligence, a monthly meeting headed by the Home Minister, and there is a SMAC, there is a meeting by the SIB, Local Intelligence Bureau, called SMAC, and also a MAC in Delhi. All this is multi-agencies coming together and discussing various inputs every month. They have these meetings. These meetings are taking place So my theoretical answer is yes, we have got all the systems in place, all the readiness is there. For example, our your energy and the Force One are doing continuous training programs, and they have got upgraded SOP, and they can go into any building, iconic building, find out where is the entrance, how the connectivity is there, which was lacking in that time in the Taj Hotel area. Whereas now they've got the maps, they've got the training programs, they go on a given day and do all the mock exercises and come. Whether it is any iconic building, I don't want to name anything. So if that kind of readiness is there, yes, the systems are. My answer to your question is technically on the book, on the SOP, we have got all these things in place. Practically, how many meetings are happening? How many people are giving valuable sharing of intelligence and all that? That I am not aware because I am away from the system since 13 years. 13 years I am away. So, on paper, or as an SOP, all this was suggested and all this was implemented. But the taste of the pudding, Sujit, is in the eating. When the next attack, if any, it has not happened in 13 years. If it ever happens, that will be put to test. But I would say NSG and Force One and various other forces like that are absolutely battle ready. The local police is a different matter.
My last question to you. You see, a lot of us, we talk about 2611. Whenever we talk about 2611, we talk about security forces, like I said, and all of that. Sir, but there's a very simple logic in management that end of the day, it's the human resource that is the most vital resource in an operation, in any operation, whether it is a corporate operation or a security operation. Sir, my question is, have we done enough for the people who laid down their lives during 2611? Are we doing enough for people like Sivanandhan, who almost got killed in the operation? That's the question I want to ask you, sir.
Sujit, I appreciate your question. Whether it is artificial intelligence or the latest robots or anything, ultimately it is a human resource which is the most invaluable thing which will contribute to any success of a war or any other operation. For all the people who laid down their lives or they were injured, they were very much compensated by the government of India. They got their kith and kin employment, they got a petrol pump, they got a house, they got salary until the deemed date of retirement. All that was done to their satisfaction by the government. The government went out of the way to celebrate them. Even tomorrow we are going to meet there in the memorial, which I built at the cost of the public. And then the governor, nobody less than the governor, is coming to lay down the wreath, and which is happening every year. And the Matthias family will be all felicitated there. And so utmost respect is shown to them, and they are taken care, and they have done their best. But the others, like Sivanandhan you mentioned, he is an extremely valiant, heroic kind of a person. He went there on his own, out of his jurisdiction. He was in charge of central region, but he went to the south region and fought it out. Two of his men who were his bodyguards were killed, and he himself was bleeding a lot, and he suffered a lot. But then he did get all the recognition for that, and he did get the the president's gallantry medal for gallantry, and he did get recognition. See, this kind of people like Sivanandhan and others did get a pedestal in their service, pedestal in the service. He is a distinguished officer. He is recognized all over the country that he did the heroic act in that episode of 26/11/2008. And for a serving officer, whatever could happen has happened to him and various others. And even for the officers who are laid down their lives, also the families have been taken care of, and they are remembered with lot of respect. So many organizations tomorrow have organized meetings and seminars where these people will be remembered with respect. Sivanandhan is extremely capable officer. He did a fabulous job. He has been recognized, and I'm sure he is going to become CP, DG, and all that, whatever is due, in due course. when it is his turn, he is going to get every recognition, and this act of valor would come to his help.
I sincerely hope all of that happens. And thank you so much for talking to me.